then take out your phone. But for tonight's session, guys, I need you to have some way of writing, okay? Because once, whatever you're going to be writing, you're going to transfer into your workbook, which I'm not going to give you beforehand because then you're not going to listen to what I'm saying tonight. That's why the workbook will be on the portal by tomorrow morning. So then you're going to take your workbook and you're going to fill what you did tonight into your workbook. Haha, got you guys. All right. So now let's see who is here. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Kun Danila. Is it Daniel or Danella? I'm not sure because it's not obviously not you. I'm not sure. Oh, well, I'll have a chat to you directly because I keep getting your name wrong and I want to get it right. Lauren, how are you? Didi, how are you? Yolandi, how are you? Nogzolo, how are you? Yameka, how are you? Is it Nila? Okay, let me just say Nila. So from now on, I'll say Nila. I've actually got a friend, her name is Nala. So I used to know. So that's easy to remember, Nila. Vicky, how good and you? Kululwa, how are you? Neil, how are you? And Mikhail, how are you? Good evening, guys. This would be our first psychological session. Now, I think I'm going to be turning everything upside down. So don't be afraid on what I'm going to present tonight. You might think, oh my gosh, am I going to cry? Maybe. Nobody's seeing you. So if you're going to cry, then cry. If you have to cry, then maybe your body needs to cry. Are you going to laugh? Maybe your reaction to tonight might be that you laugh. Maybe tonight's reaction might be shocking to you. Maybe tonight's reaction might be very traumatic for you. I can't tell you, but I want you to know that you are going to be guided, and it's okay to feel emotions during the process, especially on the psychological side, because you are going to experience some emotion, because I'm going to draw the emotion out of you. If it's not tonight's session, at some point, one of these sessions are going to hit you, and then you might cry. I cried when I had to face these things. I felt defeated. I hated the process, but the important part is just when you are busy tonight, take it as a moment of growth. So whatever emotion you're feeling, it's fine. But I need you to have a pen and a paper, and at least something where you can write, because you're going to be doing some thinking, and there's going to be some in some times that we're going to be quiet and we're going to be thinking about certain things. So we are going to kick off tonight by, I'm going to ask you a very important question. Why did you really come to trading? Because sometimes you might come to trading because you want to say, yeah, I want to make money, I want to change my life, you know, the old thing. But what is the real reason you came to trading? Because trading isn't just about making money. It's about becoming someone capable of managing money. Today, we're going deeper than the charts. We are going to be talking about you. Okay. So there where it hits home, there where it hurts, it's okay. Stop for a moment. Understand the pain, accept the pain, and understand that you're on the journey to overcoming that. Okay, and you're in a safe space to grow. Okay, now let me go to the next one. Sorry. All right. So everyone starts somewhere. Okay, so I want you for a moment now to ask yourself, why did I start trading? Was it freedom? Was it financial security? Am I trying to run away from my job? The people I'm working with? Do I despise them? Supporting my family? Building wealth? Maybe you're trying to prove something to someone. And there is no wrong answer here. So whatever the first thing that comes to your mind is what you need to write down, because that is most probably the reason why you actually came to trading, because you want to change your life. You want to have a different future. Okay. So there is a story that we tell ourselves. I don't know about you. There's many stories that we tell ourselves. Sometimes that stories, we use them as scapegoats to take blame away from us. Sometimes we tell ourselves that stories because we are afraid of facing, the mirror. So many traders say, I love the charts, I love the analysis. I love the markets. But underneath that, trading usually represents something much, much deeper, bigger. Let me just let out the next person. Right. So, is it freedom? Is it security? Is it hope? And for many people, it might be identity. It might be a moment where you to identify as someone different. You are yearning to meet that person, that the final version of yourself. So you must decide which one it is. And whichever one it is, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, guys. It is your truth and your reality. So here's our first reflection exercise. Okay. So I want you to take your piece of paper and I want you to complete the following sentence. I started trading because, and then you finish it. And then once you have written that down, I want you then ask yourself again, but why? And then I want you to repeat this question 5 times. What do you mean? Now, let me explain. So let's say I'm going to use it. So I'm going to use me. And when I did this exercise, because I did this exact same exercise, and I'm going to say this. I started trading because I wanted to make some money. Then you're going to ask yourself, why? Why did I need to make money? Well, at that point in time, I had lots and lots of bills to pay. I had lots of things that was leaning on me. I had 4 kids and I needed to make this work. But why? Why, Marnie? Well, because at that point I was the only one in my marriage that could provide. My spouse was not providing. He was not bringing his side, so I didn't have a choice and I needed to find a way to make money. But why? Well, because I allowed financial abuse to happen in my marriage. I allowed someone to put so much weight onto me that I didn't have a choice anymore. I had to make some sort of a decision and I needed to make money. But why, Marnie? Because I was sick and tired of waking up every single day and feeling like a complete useless individual. I was sick and tired of waking up every single day and looking at the charts and not being able to understand it. I was sick and tired of who I actually was at that moment because I knew I was able to be so much more. But why was I choosing this specific version of myself? Okay, do you guys understand how you go deeper? First, it starts outside, the ripple starts outside, and then you start moving it. So I'm going to put on a quick, we're going to do a 1 minute, 2 minute song here, and then I want you to do this process. Okay, I want you to write that first one. And then I want you to keep going why, and get me at least 5 whys. Okay, so you write the first one and then you go deeper at least 5 times. Keep asking yourself why. Okay, so now it's here you guys go. There we go. So, guys, once you finish the exercise, just raise your hand, then as a sign that you finished it.
Morning.
Hey.
I can only think of four. Anything after four, my mind go blank. Is that okay?
That is perfect. If you get to 4 and your mind hits a complete blank, then you've emptied yourself up, then raise your hand. Okay, we have about half of the class that has now raised their hand. So I think most of you, some of you guys are still, busy with it, just stick with it. And you should, wherever you got at this point, then it means that that's the deepest level you would have gone. Okay. So guys, this is very, very important. Yes, Colleen. Oh, did you raise your hands now? Okay. Um, so guys, it is very important. This might seem like a little bit of a trivial exercise, but it's very important for you to understand your why. It's so important for you to understand why you did it or why you're arriving. Okay. It's extremely important for you to know that. And if you don't do that, and you don't go and you don't take these types of exercises seriously, you will never truly understand yourself. Okay. And as long as you don't understand yourself, you will keep battling in understanding why you are doing it. Because I promise you, you are going to get to a point in your journey where your why is going to be the only thing holding you. And the last why that I got to, that I didn't use the last why, was the last why was when was my 4 children. And that was the very last why that I had to face myself and realize that I'm going to make one of two choices. I'm either going to choose what is hard and give them a better life than I had, or I'm going to choose easy. And then one day they're going to have to face the demons that I refuse to face myself. Okay? Because that's how life works. Our children will inherit the things that we shy away from, the things that we refuse to fight in our lifetime. They will one day, and that's where generational wealth bondage comes from. That's ideally how it gets passed down in generations. And you have to make that decision. You have to be the person to make a different decision, to face the things head on and decide to overcome them. Now, how many of you guys have heard this saying, money is evil? Hmm? How many times? How many times in your life has people told you how evil money is? Oh, for the love of money, for the love of money, because all you do is you care about money. And if you don't, if you love money, you're going to go to hell and eternal damnation. And I'm not making fun of the Christians, don't get me wrong, I'm a Christian myself, child of God, but this is This is the lie that is being told to everybody. You must not love money. Well, if I listen, if I look all around me, um, there's nothing around me that doesn't show abundance. I mean, which tree only holds one fruit? Which vegetable only grow? Which plant only grows one berry? I mean, I've never gone to any plant or any tree or anything in this world and it only gave me its bare minimum. I mean, if I plant a peach tree, I have a peach tree and a fig tree in my home, as well as an avocado tree. There's never a time that my tree decides, well, you know what, this is going to be a very non-abundant year, and I'm only going to give Marnie one peach. And my avocado tree never wakes up and says, you know what, it's always producing to its highest level of abundance. So if everything around me shows me abundance, everything is growing, why do I feel that I'm not worthy of abundance? You see, there is a very, very important thing that you have to remember is that money is not evil and it's not good. Money is simply a tool. It is simply something that you can use to either create good or to create bad in the world. Money can create opportunity. Money can create freedom. Money can create security. Money can create experiences. And money can create generosity. Money can also create negative. And I'm sure you've experienced that in your life. It can create greed. It can create dissatisfaction. It can reflect the worst version of yourself at that specific moment. Because money is just a tool. So when you approach the market, you must not approach it from a hunger or a negative mindset. You must approach it as a tool. This is a tool that I am accumulating to either do one of these, to create one of these things, and never feel guilty. So from today, you must never ever again feel guilty for wanting financial success. The reason why you are feeling financial success is because something outside you is pressing on inside of you and calling you to change. You see, a lot of the times we think trading is a way for us to make money and to make income. No, this is a higher calling for you to go and make the changes that generations before you could not make. It is calling you to change the trajectory of the future of your family. You might think this is a very small thing, but there's a reason why you are drawn to trading. And 99% of the times, if you truly sit down and you truly reflect on yourself, the reason why you want financial success is because you're sick and tired of being sick or tired and sick and tired of doing these things and never getting anywhere. You are sick and tired because you've looked at what every other generation around you and before you has done, and you realize this is not working. I need to do something different. And that's why you were attracted to trading. Because trading is one of the biggest markets in the world. It has created the most amount of millionaires, but it is going to come at a cost. It is going to come at a cost that you need to decide whether you are willing to pay. And unfortunately, the current version of you is the cost. You are going to have to be the one that's going to have to face yourself in the mirror every single day and make a better choice, make a different choice. So instead ask yourself tonight, what kind of person do I want to become while earning it? Now, this is going to be very deep, but it's the honest truth is money will amplify who you already are. If you are greedy, you will be even more greedy when you make a lot of money. If you are hateful, You will be even more hateful when you make a lot of money. But if you are generous, you will even become more generous when you make a lot of money. So you need to work on yourself. If you look to all these other people outside that became millionaires, and you despise the way they do things, and you are angry, you look at this person, you think, wow, why is this person so greedy, man? Or why is this person so negative? Or why is this person, they don't want to talk to anybody, or they don't want to look at that person and realize that during their process of becoming, they refused to face certain pieces of themselves. And when the money arrived, now it is amplifying them. It is amplifying who they truly are. The day when money arrived in my life, I realized that I had grown so much that for me, it's more about generosity. It is about leaving something beyond myself here. Because the money, one day when I die, the money will go to someone else. My things will go to someone else. But me and my philosophies and who I have become needs to supersede me. And that's why I do what I do today, because it is a much deeper calling for me. And as I potentially rise, I will always keep working here, because I'm too afraid of not being the best version of myself every single day. And if that is the same thing that you want, then you're in the right place, guys. Now, the real question is, everyone wants success. Everyone wants success. I mean, nobody wakes up every single day and says, I don't want to be successful. But very few ask themselves, what am I willing to sacrifice? You see, success has a price to pay. Everybody. I mean, Elon Musk, he's paying a price every day. Donald Trump, he's paying a price. Jeff Bezos, he's paying a price. Everybody that has a lot of wealth and success, they pay a price every single day. They have to sacrifice certain things because the current capacity at which they're holding requires that from them. So success costs something. It's going to cost you your comfort. It's going to cost you your excuses. It is going to cost you your old habits. And it is going to cost you your old beliefs. We have to reframe the way you see money. We have to reframe how you see your life right now. So the question is, if you're not willing to pay the price for this, that's okay. You can leave. You don't have to. You can stop coming to the psychological sessions. You can follow the 20 EMA and you can make some money. But if you feel that you want to really build something and prove something to yourself, then those are the 4 things you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to, like us at 6 a.m. in the morning, you have to wake up at 6 a.m. and take the trade. Nobody else is going to wake you up and take the trade. That is your comfort disappearing. You can no longer sit there and say, well, you know what? I didn't take the trade because it was such a tough time in my life. Your excuses has to disappear. You have to take responsibility for your life and say, you know what? From now on, every decision I'm making is being made with my goals in mind. And I'm not going to allow these excuses to continue. Your old habits are going to have to die. You're going to have to get rid of certain things, because a person that holds $1 million, they all have the same habits. Now, they might not have the same way that they apply their habits, but they have the same level of habits. They read a lot. They study a lot. They take care of their body. Exactly, guys. Ryan, absolutely. New levels, new devils, guys. That is the truest thing I have ever heard, because I will beat that devil, and then the next one is sitting there waiting for me, and he will knock me straight in the face. He will knock me right in the face the moment I get to that level. And then you'll think, oh, why is it so difficult again? Because you've asked for a new level. And in order for you to stay at that level, you have to beat that level. Okay, guys? And if you are young here and you're like a gamer, you can't go to level 2 unless you finish level 1. You can't go to level 30 if you haven't finished the first levels. Nobody can skip past. There is, unfortunately, in gaming and all these other things, there's cheat codes. There is no cheat code in trading. You will have to do the work. You will have to put in the time. There's no shortcut, guys. This is the only industry that nobody can wake up one day and say, oh, I just accidentally made it. Have you guys ever heard any trader saying this thing? Oh, I just accidentally happened to make $5 million. Hell no. Although you can hear some other people with an entrepreneur, they'll say, oh, no, you know what? I just thought of this thing and then, I said it to someone and the next moment, wow, we made so much money. I don't even know how the hell. I've never heard any trader say that. They will always say to you, excuse me, that money cost me more than you can ever know. Because in trading, you will face yourself every single day. You will face the greed. You will face the fear. You will face the failure. You will face every position by yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Okay. So here's our next activity. I want you to sit for a moment and I want you to think, what are the 3 things that you have to let go of? What are the 3 things that you believe is holding you back from the trading success? Is it fear? Is it greed? Anger? Frustration? Sometimes determination can also be one. That you are too determined. You're trying to force the process. So I want you to we're going to quickly put it up there, write them out, and then raise your hand, please, guys. Okay, so we've got half of the class more than half of the class saying that they are finished. So we're going to be moving on now. Just finish your stuff off and then we continue from there. Let me just lower all these hands. Okay, right, there we go. Let's carry on. All right, now I always tell you guys that I want to lead by example, right? I don't want you guys to ever think that what the fudge? That let me see the internet here. I want you guys to always see the transparency. I want you guys to always experience the fact that I'm being open and honest about the stuff that has happened in my life. So my rock bottom, as you guys know, was 6 years ago when I realized that the life that I was living was completely shambles. I was in a very, very bad relationship. Was married for 14 years and things were just not going right. And, I had to make the tough decision. I've been trading and trying to get my life right. And this is not necessarily about trading. Sometimes you think that, your personal life doesn't touch your trading life, but it actually does. And I had to let go of so many things. I had to get out of a toxic marriage. I had to get out of a toxic relationship. And I had to completely rebuild myself from nothing. I gave everything away. I let go of everything. I wasn't willing to fight. I was willing to have a clean break, and that meant if having a clean break meant I had to give up everything. I had to sell everything. I had to get rid of everything, and then I had to give what I had away. Everything I'd built for, everything that I'd strive for, I had to just give away, because otherwise it was just going to end up in a huge fight. So I had to literally rebuild myself. um, about 6 years ago. And it didn't just happen in a matter of a year. It took me about 6 years to make all these decisions. It wasn't like 6 years ago I sat here and I was like instantly cut off everything, but it took me 6 years to work through everything. And the last thing that I let go of, which was 2 years ago, was my marriage. And that was the moment when everything just snowballed for me. I remember being in my room here, sitting on my bed, and I just looked at the four kids and I said, I'm done. And they were like, what do you mean, Mom, you're done? I'm like, I'm done. I have worked my ass off. I've built all these things and everything is gone. Everything is gone. I have to rebuild. I have to restart from zero, from nothing. And I just don't want to do it. And I was like, no, I'm done with this. I'm leaving. There's nothing left in this world for me today. And I completely just broke down. And I remember my two eldest kids looking at me saying, Mommy, you can't give up. Not today. Today is not the day to give up. You need to get up. You need to find a way to get up. And I was like, I don't want to get up. I don't see a tomorrow for myself, guys. And at that moment, my kids were standing there and said to me, Mommy, you always find a way. You've got to get up. And at that moment, I just looked at everything and I looked at them and I realized that was my why. That was the reason why I had to stand up. Because if I don't stand up at this moment and do something different, then I will most probably carry on with this exact same thing for the rest of my life. And I was not willing to do it anymore, guys. And at that moment, I pushed myself off the bed and I gave them a hug and I said, I will never, ever be in this position ever again. From this moment forward, I will find a way. I will work as hard as I have to. I will push as hard as I have to, but I will never sit here ever again in my life. And this is the moment that I just went on this journey of self-development. I went on the journey to understand myself better, because at that moment, every single day, as I kept building on myself, my trading got better. And the more I worked on myself, the better my businesses became, the better my relationships became, and everything just became so much better because I stopped focusing outward and I started focusing inward. And I decided for myself that I am going to work here because I don't have control outside of me. I cannot force anybody to do anything. The only thing that I can do is I can work here. So the big thing is, if I could do it, so can you. Okay, guys. Sorry, this is still very emotional. I can feel the emotion is still there. Phew. But yes, I want you guys to see that when I share these things with you guys, it's not just me saying it. I have lived it. So when you get to that point where you are rock bottom and you want a new life, I understand when you say those things, because I know what it feels like to sit in that moment. I know what it means to be there. And that is the difference between what I want to help you guys with and what why I want you guys to succeed. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that is my journey. You're going to have your own journey. Absolutely, Lauren. It's always easier to give up than to go on. But you know what? The one thing that I know for a fact is that at that stage, I had my four kids that were sitting there. And I thought to myself, when I look back, and I was like, you know what? What if there could be a community of people? What if there was a community of people that you could lean on? A community that cared for each other, that woke up every single day and loved each other. And you understand? That was the idea, guys. And that is why I'm so passionate about sustainable trading, because I don't believe it's just about trading. It's about a sustainable lifestyle. It's about a sustainable relationships. It's about sustainable, self-development. It's about so many more things than just sustainable trading. It's about creating the community, the I think, yeah, it's the community that is sustainable, because at the end of the day, we need to be together as a team and help each other to get there. Absolutely, Neil. Absolutely. So here is the important part I want you guys to understand tonight is the market and everything around you gives you the illusion of control. Okay. You think that you have control over the market, the same way that you have control over certain things in life, which you do not have control. The only thing that you have control over right now, guys, is yourself. The decision you make from this day forward is the only thing that you have control over. And I want you to focus on that. Okay. Because I believed when I came to trading, I had the firm belief that if I worked harder, if I pushed harder and I forced things, trading will pay me. Man, was I wrong. Man, was I completely wrong. Because I thought that my activity, me doing this, would cause this market to pay me. No. Unfortunately, life doesn't work that way, and neither do the markets. The markets doesn't care whether you're happy, sad, good, bad, rich, poor, beautiful, ugly. It doesn't matter. It's going to treat you the same way. If you put your stop loss in a liquidity zone, it shall take thy stop loss. Straightforward. It does not care whether you have bills to pay or no bills to pay, whether whatever's happening, it doesn't care. So from this day, I want you to let go of the fact that you can predict the market, you can predict the outcomes, you know where the market is going. So if anybody says to you, I know where the market's going to go, then you immediately look at that person and realize that this person has a false illusion that they are controlling the market. They don't. The market is randomness, and we are trying to bring some sort of order to it. Now, what is trading going to expose? It is going to expose that control that you think. You cannot control the price. Okay. Nothing you or me do will make that price go up or go down. So from today, never again do you believe which direction the price is going to go. You are going to look at the position, and that's why I gave you guys the exercise to take a screenshot of your position when you take it, and then to take a screenshot of the position when you are finished with it in our one-on-ones, because that is the only thing that you have control over. When I see the setup, I take the setup. And just because I took a setup does not mean that the market is going to go to take profit. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. News, how do we control what the news does? How do we control what the institutions does? How do we control what liquidity does? How do we even control the outcome? None of those things we can control, guys. So when you start being upset because you've hit 4 stop losses, why are you blaming yourself? Why are you thinking that you are the problem? Because you are not the problem. The market is the market, and you have no control of it. The only control you have is yourself. Did I follow the rules? Did I follow risk management? And did I execute the plan? If you know exactly how that is, then you will be fine. Trust yourself enough to understand. Let go of the things you cannot control and control the things you can control. Because guess what? Although you have the uncertainty of all of these things, you don't want to add more uncertainty from here, like fear, like FOMO, like aggression. Those are the things you have to learn to control, so that when these things do whatever the hell they want, here is peace. Okay. Now we're going to take a reflection moment. So where are you? Where now in your life are you trying to force something? Must trading work for you, or else you're not going to make it? Are you trying to find the perfect strategy? Because if I find that perfect strategy, I can beat the market. Are you getting extremely aggressive when you hit a stop loss because the market is telling you that you are wrong and you hate being wrong? How dare the market tell me I'm wrong? Man, I'm not wrong. The market is wrong. So think for a moment, guys. Think for a moment. Where in your life are you trying to force something? Where are you trying to change? There's somewhere within you that you're trying to force it. Maybe it's the fact that that you've got to change the legacy of your family. You've got to change this. Now you're trying to force this trading thing. Like, this thing has to work. It has to prove to me that I'm enough. Because trading has to validate that I'm an okay person. The money has to prove to me that I'm a success. So where are you forcing something? Where is it? Where are you trying to replace trading as part of your identity? Okay. So I want you guys, you might not have the answer right now, might come in your workbook, but it's something to think about. And the ones that have already got their psychological question, their psychological assessment, go through it. That reflection is in there. You're most probably going to find it there, promise you. So if you're not sure where to find it, go to your psychological assessment and then just go and have a look at it. And then you'll see that thing is in there. We have most probably identified it. And you just need to read through it and find out and say, yeah, you know what? This is where I'm forcing it because I'm looking for the perfect strategy. If I find the indicator, then I'm going to be a successful trader. No, you're already a successful trader. Yeah, but if I make this money, then I'm going to be something. No, you're already something. Yeah, but if I don't do this, I'm not going to be a good parent and my children will hate me. You're already a good parent. You're already a good parent. You're already perfect. That is the mirror reflecting back to you guys. So this is the part I need you guys to really go and think about, because this is the part where you are stuck. Because you think that trading is going to be the solution, but you're already the solution. You, as you sit here tonight, you've already got it. Were perfectly beautiful and perfectly made. Everything is inside of you. We just have to unlock it. Just have to unlock it, guys. Nothing can be added or taken away from you. Because the only way that I can say that you are not perfect and you're not exactly who you are meant to be, so bring me another version of yourself. If you can bring me another version of yourself and I can compare you to another human being exactly the same way as you on this earth, then I can look at you and say, oh, well, you know what, you're not meeting the criteria. But unfortunately, each one of us are an individual. We are one of a kind. We are not a copy. You are one. So how dare you think less of yourself? Because you're perfect. Society, everything outside of you has taught you to criticize yourself. And from this moment forward, in our psychological sessions, we're going to learn to let go of these things, and we're going to learn to embrace the best versions of ourselves. Okay. Now, here's our journal exercise. So I hope you guys got your journals. I want you guys to go. So if you don't have a journal, there will be a workbook in there for you guys, and then you guys can answer this in the workbook. But you should be having a journal. Eh? What would happen if you simply accepted that reality? So what would happen if you could sit here tonight and you could see yourself making $500,000 this year? What would happen if you woke up and everything that you were dreaming of is in your garage, you're sleeping in the house, in the bed, you have everything? What would happen? Would you wake up? What would you do? Where would you go? So what I want you to do is I want you to sit for a moment and envision yourself. And I don't want you to write it in past tense. So you're not going to write it and say, I want you to go and write it like, I woke up this morning in my dream house. I absolutely love this 5-bedroom house. It's beautiful. I love the way we've redone the floors. They look absolutely beautiful. I really, really think the tiles we used works really well. It's absolutely beautiful to wake up in the morning and to be able to walk down the passageway, go and make myself a cup of coffee, and then I stand at the window looking out at this amazing view every single morning. And I'm so thankful that I have this ability, that I was able to get to where I am today. And then if you got kids, and I love having breakfast with my kids in the morning, sitting at the table, listening to these stories as they get ready for school. I'm excited because I get to take my kids to school every single day and I get to pick them up after school, and then I drive to my favorite restaurant in my beautiful vehicle, whatever vehicle it is. You understand? I want you to write what a day in your life is like there. But I don't want you to write it like, yes, I am going to be. It's like I got in my beautiful Ferrari. I'm so thankful. I love the way the seat sits. And the steering wheel just, wow, it just feels like it's such a good fit for me. And as I am driving and I hear this engine roaring behind me, it reminds me of everything that I overcame in my life. Do you guys hear how I'm talking? Because I want you guys to feel that. I want you, it's not these affirmations, I am wealthy, I am lovely. No, I want you to write, what does your day look like? But like literally, like you are walking, because now you are realizing that the version in front of you already has everything that your heart desires. It's not that far away, guys. Everything that you want, you already have it here. We just have to open it up and for you to realize that the reason why you want this is because the future version of you already has it. And it's calling your name and asking you to walk. Okay. So another thing I want you guys to do is I want you guys to also go and ask yourself the question, what are you holding on to? Guys, because sometimes growth requires you of letting go of certain things. There's certain things that are causing you pain. And you know what they are. And then I want you to go and sit down and look at them and be objective about them. Trust me, the workbook is going to give you some more context around how to do this. But there are things that you need to let go of. You need to get over. And as long as you hold on to those things, and unfortunately for me, in my marriage was something that I had to let go of. Oh, but Marnie, how dare you say you could divorce? That is something I had to, because my marriage at that point was a crutch for me. I was using it. I was using it as a crutch. I was the one causing it to go bad. And I had to let go of it. I had to realize that I am the problem in this marriage, and I have to let go of it. Because as long as I stay in this environment, I am going to keep enabling someone to not stand on their own 2 feet, because I cover all the bills. I pay everything. I am the problem, not him. Me, I'm the problem. And the day when I let go of it, although it was very, very painful and it was the worst thing I've ever done in my life, I was able to start building on myself and letting go of those limitations, because then I started, instead of focusing there, I focused here, guys. Now, don't go so extreme as your marriage now, please. I'm just using me as an example now, okay? So don't come to me tomorrow and say, well, no, what is that thing? You know what that thing is. You know exactly what that thing is. You're waking up every morning, it's like difficult to get out of bed, and you're thinking, yeah, man, I'm getting old. And then and you should be walking around the block. You know it. But I'm not walking around the block because it's cold, man. Marnie, it's freaking cold. Well, so you're telling me, Marnie, that walking around the block can make me a profitable trader? Sometimes that's the start. Sometimes that's the first step you got to take, because now you wake up a bit early, your body gets used to it. It's that first win of the day. That's it, guys. Lauren, you've got it. You've got it. Now, this is the questions you need to ask yourself. Are you holding on to a relationship? Are you holding on to an old identity, a belief, a habit? Women, perfectionism. This is especially for the ladies. Perfection. We have to be perfect. We have to be the perfect mother. We have to be the perfect wife. We have to be the perfect spouse. We have to be the perfect daughter. We have to be the perfect everything. Because society dictates for perfect. Do I have to let go of those beliefs? Maybe. Maybe you have to. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's fear holding you back. Maybe you're saying, you know what? Someone of my background becoming a millionaire. How? No, 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 no. You don't understand. I didn't finish school. I have no formal good qualification. I have a poor education. People like me just don't make money. We just don't make millions, you know? That sounds to me like a limiting belief. It sounds to me like fear. So you have to go and sit down and decide what that is. And then identify. Because trust me, in your workbook, we're going to work through a lot more. Now, trading magnifies these things. Okay, so if you can't identify them exactly, your trading journal and your trading journey that you're going to be taking with me is going to tell me exactly what you are battling with. Absolutely. Because when you lose a trade, I'm going to find out how you react. Because sometimes we can't help ourselves. We will say things, or we will act in a certain way, or we will do things, and that will easily be a cue to say, oof, okay, this person is maybe a little bit revengeful, but revenge is not actually the reason why they are getting angry when they're losing trades. They actually, it's not the aggression that's the problem. It's the fact that they can't face the feeling of being wrong, because they grew up in a home being told the whole day, yes, they were told the whole day that they are doing everything wrong. Don't do it like that. 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 And then you grow up one day being afraid of doing anything because just now I do it wrong. Because remember, unfortunately, that voice here in the back never disappears. Because now that was outside is now inside here. And now, instead of that person saying that to you, they're no longer there saying it to you, but now you have grown accustomed to this voice now replacing that voice and saying it to you over and over. You know? Same with when you get a trade and you're like, wow, I see the setup. And then the fear hits you. Like, poof. Now, what if I'm wrong? How many of you guys do that? Huh? You sit there like, oh, no, what if this? You know? When your life has been telling you that you're making so many mistakes. Who in your life has been blaming you for just constantly making mistakes and destroying you when you make a mistake and victimizing you when you make a mistake? Because that person has caused that feeling here. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about that person as a person. I'm talking for you. You know, we all make our own decisions, guys. And unfortunately, we have outside influences that constantly pound down on us, and it amplifies the voice inside of our mind. So you have to go and identify, what it is. When you miss a trade, how do you react? Oh, shit, man, I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Why did I miss this trade? I know that I should have market executed, but I'm such a bloody idiot. In your life, when you got things wrong, or you just didn't make the mark, who called you an idiot? Because someone else had to teach you how to feel like an idiot. Because today you keep calling yourself an idiot because that person told you're an idiot first. And if someone tells you're an idiot long enough, you start to believe that you are one. And we have to identify that. We have to identify that within you so that we can overcome that and we can help you step by step to quiet that voice. And then when you get into a winning streak, oh man, I made 7% this month. And then what happens? But what if I lose it all tomorrow? What if I trade tomorrow and I lose it? And then if I lose it, I'm going to lose. And then you go down the spiral of like, who told you in your life you're not good enough? Who told you that you will never measure up? You will never be enough? Because that's the voice speaking. See, guys, trading is a mirror. It is magnifying the things that are already inside of us. And you have to, the moment that you are in a trade or the moment that you're doing something, you must realize that, oh my gosh, when I'm doing this thing, it's not actually me speaking. It's my past speaking here. It's my history that is saying this to me. And I have to quiet this voice. You know how it goes? When the trade goes in your direction, right? And you're like, oh, let me move my stop loss to break even because I cannot afford to lose this money. Who in your life showed you that money is not abundant and that it's something that is very difficult to make, and it's something that that only hard work, dedication, and commitment will make. It was such a your family, the closest people to you, showed you that money is so difficult. Don't waste the water. Close the tap. Don't switch off the light. Make sure that we don't waste anything. So then when you get to trading and you keep moving your stop loss, it's not because you know the strategy, man. You know. Marnie said many times, and everybody says I mustn't move my stop loss, but why do I keep moving this thing? Because that voice is still going in your brain. You will never find the sweet spot, guys. You see, again, that is a belief. You see, you're looking for a shortcut. Yeah, but Marnie, how do we better things? That is a limiting belief. Yeah, but that's not a limiting belief, Marnie. Come on, yourself. What's wrong with you? No, that's not. There must be something that we. How do we exactly get this right? You're never gonna get it exactly right because the market is dynamic. It's not static. That is the cold hard truth. Right now, Wednesdays and Fridays is really bad on the strategy. If you go back 6 months, Monday and if you go back to last year, they were good days. We were having winning streaks on them. So how is it that last year Wednesdays and Fridays were so good, and this year Wednesdays and Fridays are not so good? Because that's just how it works. The market is dynamic, and you have to learn to not try and predict the market, but rather react to what the market is already telling you. Okay. Your statistics, guys, I promise you today. This morning when we sat on the 30 trade challenge, I said to you guys that Wednesdays are a bad day. Let's not take a trade. Really knows the market. She can read them. Or no, I cannot. I'm looking at my statistics and I'm telling you this is a bad time to trade. It's got nothing. I'm not this really smart individual. The only difference between you and me is I am tracking and measuring everything. I'm looking at every single day and I'm saying, you know what? Wednesdays are really, really bad. I think we shouldn't trade. I don't think we should get in the market on a Wednesday because all the other Wednesdays are shouting at me saying, la, 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 la. But now if you don't have that level within yourself to listen to what the stats are telling you, you are going to skew things and still carry on with an old framework, looking for that perfection. I need to find, I can only be a profitable trader if I'm perfect. No, I can almost guarantee you that most traders are the most highly uneducated, wash out, whatever people, because everything else we tried was really cock. And then we came to trading, and the only thing that we were really good at as traders is realizing that we don't understand this thing. But the only thing that we do understand is, that we can apply something consistently, and as long as we can just keep coming back every single day and trying, eventually we will make it. And then we make it. Not because we were lucky. No trader is lucky. It's because we spend the time, the energy, and the effort to work on ourselves inside of it. Because guess what? We stopped revenge trading. We stopped having that fear towards our positions. We stopped chasing our positions. So when we stopped doing all of these things, poof, we magically became profitable. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? Because we had to first deal with the filters that we had in front of us. And the moment when we stopped doing these things that interfered with the strategy, we magically became profitable. And that's the only thing that we did. That's what made us profitable. Right, so ask yourselves, what is the one belief I need to let go of? Okay. So in your workbook exercise, you're going to get a sentence. It says, I can only become the trader I want to be when I let go of. Okay. And I don't want to put it on now for you guys to do it because it's going to take some thinking, right? Maybe take your psychological assessment and just go through it. And for the guys that already have it, the other guys, my apologies, you're going to get yours as I do the one-on-one sessions. Because for the guys that don't know, the psychological assessments is not just something that I just we put anything. It's not a cookie cutter. I go through every single one of them. I read them. I understand them. I look at them. So, we break it down extensively for you. Okay. So, but write it down. And then maybe after we did the psychological assessment, you can come back to it and see how accurate you were on it. Okay. Now, trading mirrors your life. So here's something I want you to, from today, the market doesn't punish you. Okay. When you're in a losing streak or you're losing money or you're making mistakes, the market is not punishing you. The enemy is not the market. So we're going to stop saying, oh, the market manipulates. The market wants to steal my stop loss. The market is always fighting. It's always wanting to take my money. No more. The market doesn't want to punish you. It only reflects you. Okay. So from this day forward, anything that you do, you need to see it as a reflection and not as an attack. Okay. So if you fear failure, you'll hesitate. If you crave certainty, you'll avoid taking trades. If you need control, you'll move your stop loss. If you lack confidence, you'll skip winners. I'm sure most of you guys are falling in one of those four. Am I correct? There's your answer. So if you're afraid of failing, you'll hesitate. So if you get to the position like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna know, it didn't. You're afraid of failure. If you avoid taking specific trade, yes, boom, and it's you guys see, it's nothing special. It's nothing special, guys. You fear failure. You crave certainty. You're trying to avoid mistakes. You need control. Okay, so you need that control. And you lack the confidence, which is, I think most of you guys, yes, only traders, yes. So you guys, so these are the things we have to work on. And most probably, I think if you go to your psychological assessment, you'll be like, oh my gosh, now it starts to make sense. Yes, Lauren, it is a lonely journey unless you create a community like we have now, guys. Now you guys are part of a community. Now you're part of a group of people that wants to achieve the same level as you. Because here's the beauty, guys. Everybody that's in this group with you today, they are dealing with the same stuff. They are dealing with the same stuff. If they're not dealing with all of them, then we're probably dealing with some of them. So you now know that every person that is with you today has got the same stuff. Do I sometimes deal with this stuff? Of course, guys. When everything is going wrong in my life, I'm craving control. And what is the easiest way to show control is in my trades. I want to control the market. I haven't got any fib block strategies. I need to control the market. No, let it go. Like my daughter always says to me, let it go, let it go. See, guys? And that's why my kids trade so well, because they don't have any of these things. Because society hasn't placed these things on them yet. So for them, it's like easy. Okay, money is easy to make. Boom, 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 boom. Because for them, it's like this. They're not facing any of these things. Well, unfortunately, we have to face them. So if you want to change the generations that are going to come after you, you've got to face these things. These are the demons thou shalt face. And only when you've beaten them, the next one will wait for you. And as you beat them and you conquer them and you overcome them, you will rise on the ladder of success. And then you can change the trajectory of your family's legacy. Only you can do it. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at it. So this is how it normally works. You're going to have a trading behavior, and then there's going to be some sort of personal pattern that's going to follow it, and then there's going to be some sort of life experience. So something happened, and that life experience is causing a personal pattern to play out, and it's being reflected in your trading. So everything is connected. Everything is connected. The moment you make a certain thing, so the moment I have a chat to you, it's like, oh, Marmi, it was such a cuck week in trading. I kept getting hit on stop loss. Okay. Well, okay, so the trading behavior is the fact that you are feeling like a failure. Okay, let's quickly go back. Oh, okay. I'm fearing the failure. So next week, what do you need to work on? Don't hesitate on the trades. Keep taking the trades. Don't stop taking trades. Reduce the risk maybe, but don't stop taking trades. So this is why there are two traders, right? I always say that there are two traders. They can use the same strategy, the same entries, the exact same chart, and they can produce completely different results. Now you tell me why? Why, if I take two traders and we both trade the exact same strategy, the exact same entries, and I'll give you a classical example. Exactly, let me give you an example. Would you guys agree that on the 30 trade challenge, we have the same strategy, we have the same entries, we have the same chart? So why are you all not making the same profits? Oh, that's interesting, Marnie. Lauren, exactly. Exactly, guys, because each one of you are an individual and you're dealing with different things. You understand? So what is going to take you from where you are to where you want to be? Change, yeah. Yes. You see, Mpumi, as we are doing this, you guys are having revelations. I hope you're writing this down, guys. Write it down. Even if you write the whole thing on your page, fill up your page. Yes, that's the reason. Because remember, the 30 trade challenge is the same chart. You're all seeing my chart. We're all seeing the same entries, the same stop loss, the same TP. We're seeing the same charts, yet we're all producing different results. Why? Because you're a person and the way you... Okay, so I hope that makes sense to everybody. So there are 20 trading truths, guys. And the first one we are going to learn tonight. So there's 20 truths I'm going to teach you. So every psychological session will cover one of these truths and we will dive into them. Tonight's truth is, trading truth number one is, losses are unavoidable. What, Marnie, are you telling me I'm going to lose? Yes, I'm going to tell you, you are going to lose, and you're going to lose so much money in trading. You know, when you look at that P&L at the end of the year and you just look at the loss column, it's going to be big. But don't forget to look at the win column as well. Okay, because you're going to lose trades. It's part of trading. So from today, if you take a loser, it's like, whatever, it's part of the process. I'm going to stop trying to control the market. Okay, so what most traders believe, I failed. If the trade hits stop loss, they say, I failed. Oh, failed. My stop loss. You know what's going on. You know, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should backtest this. No, this is a cuck strategy. Let me change to this, because that's what we do. Okay. The reality that you should be asking yourself when that trade loses is to ask yourself, did I follow the system? If it's a yes, then it's part of trading. If it's a no, okay, what did I do wrong? Which step did I miss? Oh, okay, I missed that step. Okay, next time, don't do it. And then you do it again. It's okay. Next time, don't do it. And then the next time, oh, I do it again. Okay, next time, don't do it. Oh, I stopped doing it. Oh, I stopped doing it. What the hell? Oh, okay. Next trade, stop doing it. Oh, I did stop doing it. And then next trade, I did it again. Oh, shucks. Next trade, I just stopped doing it. I stopped doing it. And then eventually what happens? Over time, you stop doing it more than what you're doing it. And now you've created a new habit of sticking to it. Okay. Now, there's a hidden personal battle that is happening right here. Okay. It's the fear of failure and the fear of judgment. You know, what is my parents going to think of me when, are they proud of me? Shucks, is my wife, is my wife going to think that I'm okay? You know, what if I let my family down? What if I let my kids down? What if I let my wife down? What if I let my husband down? You know, what then? What are the people going to think of me if I don't succeed at this? Stop that immediately. You are going to succeed. There's a reason why you're sitting in this session tonight. is because we are going to make the change. And we are going to sit here until you get it right. I'm not going anywhere, so I hope you don't go anywhere. Because as long as you keep moving that stop loss, I will be there to say, can we try next time not to move it? And when you get fearful of taking the trade, I'll say, it's okay. Are we going to try and take the trade next time? Yeah, but you don't understand, Marnie. I'm so afraid. Okay, let's half the lot size. Okay, well, let's take half the lot size. Are you okay with taking the trade? Yes, Marnie. Okay, did we take the trade? Yes, Marnie. How did you feel? I'm feeling better. I'm actually feeling better. Okay, so your lot size was too big. Let's stick to this lot size. You see, guys, it's about having that person next to you. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Everybody is dealing with the same crap you're dealing with. They are dealing with the self-limiting beliefs. And when we come into a space where we all feel like, we all got the same journey, it starts getting easier. Okay. Now, what is the reflection? How do I normally react to failure? Someone in the comment section said there's something. Wait. No, Jose, it's a very good habit. If you used to just take your stop losses and you're like, oh, well, the market has literally punched you in the face so many times that now when it punches you in the face, you're like, oh, well, you're at the right space. You're at the right space, because that's how I am as well. The market will punch me in my face, annihilate my stop loss, and I'll just be like, okay, then I move on. Here it is. Mpumi. I accept the losses, but I'm still a bad loser. Okay, why? Someone in your life said to you that losing is wrong. Someone punished you for losing. Who punished you for losing? Was it at school? Were you laughed at when you got things wrong? Did your friends make fun of you because you just didn't get it right? Did your mom and dad scream and shout at you when you didn't get something right? Did your siblings make fun of you because you just couldn't do it? See, all of those things might sound very minimal. Yes. It might sound something silly like, oh, come on. What do you mean yes, that is what is causing you to feel this way. And you have to let go of it for you to move forward, guys. Why can I not go forward? We don't know. Oh, this is the last slide. I was going to still talk on it. Okay, so guys, what's going to happen now is there's going to be a workbook, right? So we're going to post. Jose, you're at the right space. You can say whatever you want, guys. Please understand this. The psychological this session of us, it's all about the mind. Okay, this is the time where we focus inwards, right? And whatever comes to your mind, say it. You want to, guys, it's one of the biggest things that we were taught as children, and school taught us this: do not speak our minds. How many of you guys were punished for speaking your mind? Yeah. Still, you better sit still and you better listen. So what happens when we grow up and yes, absolutely, Neil. Now when you get older, you're too afraid to raise your hand and say, listen, I don't understand. Hey, I keep making mistakes. Because you were taught to sit still and keep quiet. You see, guys, these are the things you have to let go of. These are the things you have to overcome. You have to learn. Yes, you feel stupid all the time. And you know what? It's okay to feel stupid, because guess what? This is the first trading community that when you hit stop loss, we're happy for you. Yes, Maxi. Absolutely. You guys see how many people are battling with the exact same thing that you are? Punished for doing something wrong. Ava? Yes. Look how many people around you are feeling exactly the same way as you are feeling. I was also told, sit down, listen. The problem with me was I never listened. So then I always used to get into shit because I refused to keep my mouth shut. And I was always punished, severely punished. Not only by the school, but by my parents as well. Yo, why can't you just listen? Because they're talking cuck. You know? So that's why I must probably have a group today, is because I can't keep quiet on the things that I'm seeing, because I know that what the solutions are for people, and I know that it's not their strategy, and I know it's not their this, and then I know it's inside of you. Marnie, I'm so scared. I took 2 trades on my prop firms and all was, that's okay, Lily. That's okay. It's absolutely fine. What is the worst case thing that's gonna happen, Lindy, if you blow that prop firm? What's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Hmm? What's the worst thing? Tell me, what is the worst thing that you can think of in your mind that will happen if you blow that prop firm? You will feel like a loser. Do you think that that prop firm can ever define you as a winner or a loser? Because in my books, you bought a prop firm and you tried something that 99% of people will never attempt, and you didn't lose. You got feedback. You see, you can only feel like a loser when you give up. That's technically when you're a loser, because losers give up. Winners keep going until they get it. And every time they fail, it's not a failure, it's feedback. So you'll only be a loser, Lindy, if you lose that prop firm and you give up. Then you can clearly go and look in the mirror and say, I'm a loser. But until you have not made the decision to give up, the only worst case scenario in this whole entire thing is you're going to lose a little bit of money. You know what is the exciting part, Lindy? Money is the easiest thing to make back. Absolutely, Maxie. Absolutely. And thank you, Lindy, for being so raw and honest and open, because not a lot of people will be that raw and honest and that open. But I want you to understand that this prop firm is not going to make or break you. This prop firm is not going to make the decision whether you're going to be a profitable trader or not. This prop firm is pretty much just going to give you some information, some feedback, and it's going to tell you what you are doing right and what you are doing wrong. And you know what is the most amazing thing? When you know what you are doing wrong is, you can go and do the opposite next time. So the next time when you get a prop firm, you can go and do the opposite of what you did before. You see, Lindy? So what's the worst thing that's going to happen to you? You're going to lose a little bit of money. So what? So what? I didn't lose prop firm accounts, but fudging hell, I blew a lot of accounts. If you go look at my trading history, I blew a lot of accounts. A ton of accounts. The only difference between where I am today and where I was before is I never gave up. Never give up. The moment you give up, you're a loser then. Then you can stand and say, I'm a loser because I gave up and I didn't keep going. Okay, so Lindy, because you had 2 losers, step back for a moment. Tomorrow, when you step into the market, half the risk. So let's say you took 1% or 0.5% today. Tomorrow, you enter with 0.25%. Give yourself some room to learn. Absolutely. Jay, all losses are lessons. Tuition fees. Can I tell you guys what is even, so I know trading is sometimes scary, but think about it. When a doctor, an engineer, or those guys make mistakes, they don't lose money. So if you think trading is one of the most, it's my pleasure, Lenny. So think about it, guys. At least you're not a doctor and a lawyer. You're not an engineer, and you're not a doctor and you're not a lawyer. It's kind of like if you lose, the other person faces the consequence. Yeah, and a pilot. Yeah. So your profession is, you're just going to lose some money. Okay. That's about that. You know, if you're sitting on that side, you can think, yeah, if that doctor makes, then that person's got some real doo-doo on their hands. So you're not in that place, guys. That's the worst case scenario. I always say, guys, whenever you look at a situation, break it down into its final pieces. What is the worst thing that's going to happen? What is the best thing that's going to happen? And what is the most likely thing that's going to happen? And you know what, Lindy? The fact that you're making mistakes and that you're having losers is a good thing. Yeah, but money doesn't feel that way. I know losing doesn't feel good. I know. But this is the time for you to reframe your losses into learnings. Go look at those trades. Did I follow my system? Did I do exactly what I was supposed to do? Yes. Then I did what I was supposed to do. It was the market going against me. Statistically, you are supposed to have losing trades because the law of randomness is going to knock you every now and then. Sometimes it knocks us bad. Sometimes it knocks us not so bad. So what I want you to do, Lindy, is go to those two trades. Did you follow the process? Did you follow what you were supposed to do? If it's a yes, then great, you followed the process. Okay, if you didn't follow the process, fine. It's giving me some feedback. And what's the feedback? What should I do differently tomorrow? And that's what you do. As simple as that. I know it sounds simple right now. It feels awful. It sounds simple, but it feels like it's death. Because that's how it is. It's your brain interpreted as a catastrophic. Should slow down my mouth. Catastrophic event. Look there. Look at Miss Naomi. Look here. Look how everybody's in the same boat. I blow 3 accounts. I feel calm taking a trade until when it goes red. It is true because your brain is going off saying, this is pain. This is pain. I'm losing. How dare I lose? See, guys, you're all in the exact same. Yes, tomorrow's a new shift. Tomorrow is a new day, guys. We're all going to wake up tomorrow, God willing. But we're all going to wake up tomorrow and we are going to have another try. So tonight, you put your feet up, you have a glass of water, a cup of coffee, or a cup of tea. You go and look at your trades. Did you follow your process? Yes. If you didn't follow your process, what did you not follow? Tomorrow, when you get to the trades, you do what you're supposed to do. Simple as that, guys. That's all you got to do every single day. And if it's really bad, Lenny, then you send me a message. Be like, listen, Marnie, you have no idea. I'm down. And then we can quickly sit and we can have a look at it and find you some sort of direction out of it. Okay? Okay. All right, guys. That is tonight's section. So there was a lot of deep things. There was a lot of non-deep things. There were some emotional moments for myself going back in my own history. But yes, I hope you guys all understand that your success is not in the strategy. Your success is here. And the more we work on here every single day, the better. It's the same with the silver bullet. Did we get a silver bullet tonight? No, we didn't. Although the silver bullet has pulled back, eh? We are at the 786 now. Lenny, that's okay. Tomorrow's Thursday. It's one of our good days. Let's see how it goes. Let it go. Like my kid always says, let it go. All right. Okay, guys. So that is our psychological session for tonight. So now, obviously at 8 p.m., we've got the FOMC minutes. We're going to quickly go for the guys that want to join me on the live. I will be switching on the FOMC. I'm not going to have my camera on, but we can watch it together. You know, for the other guys that want to watch it, maybe you've got some family. I understand if you got some family or stuff you got to take care of. By all means, you're more than willing. Shanae, I'm gonna check the charts now, and then I'll let you guys know. Remember, we said that that news is gonna come in now, guys. So news is gonna come in, and normally you don't want to be trading news, but what we can do is let's have a look at how it bounces off. Yeah, let's see how it bounces off the 786 and the 618, and then we look at the trade, because I can see the red has also pulled out very extensive. You know, it's pulled out a lot more. So I just want to quickly reevaluate the trade, and then I'll let you guys know what my take is on where it is right now. Okay. It's a pleasure, Lindy. You're not alone. My dear, you're not alone. You're not alone. We're all here for you. And there's nobody in this room that believes more that you can make it than I do. It is a pleasure, guys. So this is the first of, you guys saw there's 20 things we're going to go through. And then we're going to work on it. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes it's not. Just check out for your workbook tomorrow with this video. Both of them will be up. And then we will take it from there, guys. Okay, then I'll see you guys at 8 o'clock for the FOMC. Those that want to join me on the live, you guys can join me. I'll send the link out now for you guys that are maybe have obviously got family. Some people's got kids and stuff. Then I'll just give you guys a bit of a breakdown tomorrow of what happened. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much, Latando. Neil, thank you so much, guys. And then I'll see you guys again tomorrow at 6 o'clock, guys. We're taking another trade at 6 a.m. Marnie and you guys shall be trading. Okay, guys. Have a wonderful and blessed evening. And I'll see you guys now in the FOMC broadcast. Bye-bye. Oh, let me just stop this thing quickly because I keep not stopping this thing.